Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to another edition of Sticks-n-Stonez. I'm your host, Brent Elrod. Glad to be with you today. I think they started almost simultaneously, so that's definitely a good one. Make sure I got myself over here on X. Yep, there I am. I have a pairing today that I think you're really going to like. Uh, it's not like a elegant pairing. It's really like a workhorse pairing. You know, it's one of those ones you can come home just enjoy anytime. Neither item is extremely expensive, and so I think you'll like it. The spirit is Bruichladdich, and that is a big, long name. It was all the way around the bottle. And this is their base spirit. This is called the Classic Laddie. It is an Islay single malt Scotch, but it is an unpeated Scotch, which is out of the ordinary for Islay. Islay typically a lot more smoke and a lot more peat. Not this one. I'm pairing that with a Brickhouse Classic. I think these are going to go very well together. So we're just going to go ahead and just dive right on in. This is about contrast, but contrast done right. We're taking a dependable, earthy cigar and matching it with one of the brightest, most expressive, unpeated scotches out there. I think this session is where simplicity is going to meet complexity, and if it hits, it's going to elevate every draw and make the sip so much better. So let's go ahead and do it. The spirit, Bruichladdich, Classic Laddie, is 100 proof. It is, as I said, an unpeated Islay single malt. I really do enjoy this scotch, and it's definitely easy to find on the shelf because there ain't another bottle on the Scotch shelves that is that color. So the mash bill, 100% Scottish malted barley. That all barley delivers a clean and kind of malty sweetness with kind of a bright citrus and floral lift, making it kind of an ideal contrast tool against an earthier cigar. As you can see, I went heavy on that one, didn't I? It's going to be a good day. This is a extremely, extremely light golden color in the glass. I mean, we're talking like, I don't know, apple juice. That's what it looks like, right? On the nose, speaking of apples, even at 100 proof, there's no real ethanol burn in the nose. You get a lot of fresh grain, some wonderful notes of like green apples and some lemon zest. There's a little bit of sea saltiness in there, and then just some light floral notes. Again, I love this scotch, and it's not a real budget buster. If I remember right, it's somewhere between like $50 and $75, which today with all the tariffs and everything, that's not too bad. So on the palate, just as good as I remember it. You get this malty sweetness, kind of some zing of citrus. There's some nice honey floating through there to give it a really good sweetness to it, but not overly sweet. There's some soft vanilla, and then there's this touch of minerality, which comes from Islay, which is I think it's really considered an island, but anyway, I always called it a peninsula, but there may be a that's good. Um, the finish, medium finish, you get some nice lingering sweetness, lingering citrus with a little bit of light saltiness, and then just a nice clean maltiness to it. It really, even for someone, if you're just, looking to get into scotch, you never really tried it before, don't jump out there and do one of the like Lagavulins or, anything like that. Start with You can start with something like this. Very good, not overly, it's not peated, not overly smoky. If you noticed, I didn't say a thing about smoking any of that. It does kind of put you in mind of base Glenlivet or Glenmorangie. Uh, it's right there with it. And I learned about it from watching a documentary on the guy that resurrected the distillery where Bruichladdich is now made. He was like in his 60s, and he had been in the Scotch business since he was 14 years old. He started as a kid working in the Scotch distillery. And I want to say it's something like the Golden Dram or something along those lines. And I think it was on Amazon. I could be wrong about that, but it was very interesting. You saw everything that goes into making Scotch. You had all of his stories and all of that legacy and everything that he could try and download to you as you're as you're listening along, watching along. Yeah, it's really worth a watch. Now, the Brickhouse Classic. This is definitely just a workhorse cigar. You can buy these at pretty much, I think, any of the online retailers in bundles of 20 for like 40 or $50. Um, I normally keep at least 5 around because they're just, like I said, they're just a good workhorse cigar. This particular stick, it is a Nicaraguan puro. Both the filler, all three, the filler, binder, and wrapper are all Nicaraguan. Um, very good construction, you can see. Medium to moderate veining. There's some fairly pronounced veins on it. The seams are visible but tight. It has a triple cap on the nose. You get this wonderful earthiness and cedar with a little bit of light spice in there and some nice toasted nuts. Let's go ahead and give it a cut. Test the cold draw. Where we at? Oh man, we're burning. We're 7.5 minutes. I'm already almost done telling you about the cigar. We're doing good. Used my cigar V cutter on the cold draw. You get some very nice notes of like hay, sweet hay, a little bit of nuttiness, and then just some other kind of general sweetness in there. Not extremely complex, but what it's got, you really like. Mm. All right. Rocky Patel Envoy 5 torch. Mm. It's got this really great earthy core to it, uh, with some wonderful notes of cedar and nuts, and just a little bit of light peppery spice in there. Wonderful smoke producer for a budget cigar. And this is, I don't think you can really go wrong for the price that you're paying for these. No way. And that's that nice, thick, kind of heavy smoke. I've got the ceiling fan on out here because it's getting close to 100, and so it's whirring fast, and it's still the smoke kind of hangs and doesn't just disappear. All right, let's try them together. That's what you're here for. Oh yeah, that's doing it right there. Doing it right. The classic Laddie, I just love saying it with kind of a Scottish accent. It just sounds better. Um, Kind of immediately adds brightness and lift. The citrus kind of cuts through the cigar's earthiness and creates a kind of a cleaner, more refreshing open. And even though these are sort of contrasting, at the same time, they're kind of finding their way, marrying together, where one is not overpowering the other. Love it when the smoke hangs in the glass like that. Doesn't mean anything, but I think it's cool. So, um, yeah, I mean, this is not going to be one of those, 90 plus pairings and, 9.5 out of 10 on the grading scale. It's just a solid, great to sit down and spend some time kind of pairing. And honestly, with things as the price the way they are today, it's what you need. Just a nice little workhorse pairing that you can always fall back on, and you don't have to be spending $10 on a cigar. I can't even tell you the last time I bought a box of cigars. It's like all I've been buying is 5 packs, and if I really like them, I'll buy another one in a month or two. I mean, I've got my humidor. It's a 650 plus count, and I've already overflowed it back into my next smaller one down, which was like a 225 count. I've got like 8 boxes of cigars that are, one of them not even have the wrapper off of it. Um, yeah, I can't be buying more boxes because I'm constantly smoking different things. I mean, it's one thing if you're locked into one cigar and that's the only cigar you ever smoke. All right, but I don't do that. Doing this, I have to constantly be looking for new things, new pairings, all that kind of stuff. You know, uh, uh, George Burns, he probably smoked the exact same cigar 10, 12 times a day. Matter of fact, on Johnny Carson one time, he said he smokes 15 to 20 cigars a day. He lived to be 103, 105, something like that. So he was doing something right. Um, but I'm sure he smoked the exact same cigar all the time. He liked it. That's what he smoked. That's all he cared about smoking. And he had the money to buy whatever he wanted. Quite honestly, I don't think I ever saw the guy in anything but a tuxedo. Maybe in his there was a movie he did where he played God in the movie, and in that I think he was wearing something different. But like anytime he was doing anything, presentations or anything like that, he going on Johnny Carson, all that kind of stuff. I think he always wearing a tuxedo, always smoking a. He loved Churchill 7 by 50. I'm not a Churchill guy. That's I don't know. That's a little bit too much for me. And that's what she said. And I'll tell you this. Sorry, my nose is itching. I'm not picking my nose, but it's just itching like crazy. Something blooming out here. Um, this classic Laddie is wonderful just by itself. You don't have to be smoking. It's great to just pour you a couple of fingers and sit and watch a baseball game or something like that. Just have a little something to sip on. It's really good. Cigar. If you're just wanting to go sit out back, smoke a cigar, and I kind of touched it up when I first lit it because I knew I could already tell that I'd kind of gotten it wonky, but I went ahead and touched it up with my single torch, and I hadn't touched it since. That's a really nice burn line for a, you know. Let's see, if you're buying 20 sticks and they're costing like $40 or $50, that's $2.50 a stick. Yeah, you country boy can do some math in his head. Uh, that's a really good burn line for a budget stick. Not coming apart, not exploding on you. There ain't no real hard spots. It's got just enough firmness in it, just enough give. Mm, good cigar. Watching the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction. My boy Drew Brees made it. I like Drew. I've spent most of my life as a Saints fan and didn't have a whole lot to cheer for. And when he and Sean Payton came into New Orleans, I'm not from New Orleans, but I grew up in Northeast Arkansas, Memphis area. You know, we didn't have any pro sports to cheer for that was in town except for the Grizzlies. I won't hold y'all up. I know it is. I know it is Saturday, and we're already about 16 minutes. I try to keep y'all under 20. So as you progress on through the cigar, you will find when you get closer to that halfway mark in that second, third kind of area, that the nutty flavors are going to deepen, and the cedar is going to become a little more pronounced, and the spice will build just a little, not a lot, just a little. And the pairing really starts shining kind of in this halfway area. That malty sweetness plus the nutty cigar kind of lock in together, and the citrus kind of keeps everything from getting too heavy. It kind of keeps that brightness there floating just a little bit, right? And then as you get towards the end of the cigar, the intensity is going to build more. You're going to get more earth, more wood, a little touch of bitterness with some lingering spice in there. My final impression is the whiskey smooths out the cigar's edges. The floral and the citrus notes kind of soften that bitterness, keeping the finish balanced and enjoyable. Um, the all Nicaraguan build really drives the earth and the nuttiness, which the whiskey, citrus, and malt kind of lift into a more refined, layered experience, I think. Contrast driven pairings that elevates a straightforward cigar into something more dynamic. Uh, that's you're really hitting on all cylinders then, uh, and it will remain bright and clean and engaging from start to finish if you've got the right contrasting spirit to go with it. My final verdict, I would say about 8.9 out of 10. It's not a 9 or above, but at the same time, it's not down into the eights where you're kind of more like eh, because this is not where you you have the cigar score and you have the spirit score and you average them together. You can say that you knocked it out of the park with a cigar, and the spirit was good, but together they just didn't quite match up. Uh, where this one matches up really well, really well. I think you would definitely enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, share the crap out of it. Just how I grow, and I really enjoy doing this. I'm in my sixth season now, and I'm gonna keep on doing it, I guess, for a while. And Instagram, not Instagram, TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I'm having problems. I use Buffer to post to all my social medias at one time. That way, I don't have to go and do every one individually. I've only been on TikTok a couple of months, maybe, and Buffer and TikTok are not working together very well. Like everything I post, it'll post to all my other social medias, and then about an hour later, I'll get a fail to post on TikTok. So I've been having to go over there and post things manually. I don't like it, but I'm trying to work with Buffer and TikTok to figure out what the problem is. But I'm on TikTok too. So go watch me everywhere. Like me all over. So I look forward to getting together with you again. Until next time, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day.